Happy Monday! If you're new here, I'm Ildiko, and every other week I break down what's new in the IFI world in terms of project disclosures, so you don't have to go through 80 plus PDF documents before your first coffee. Let's dive into the latest round covering the last 2 weeks of May, and yes, it is a big one. More projects, more countries, and a noticeable uptick in disaster risk resilience investments. If you're watching this from the UNDRR global platform, this one's especially for you. Just returned from Geneva, so disaster risk is what I've been thinking about ever since. We've seen a flood of the pun of new entries from the World Bank, everything from health systems to renewable energy. But what stood out to me is the growing focus on risk preparedness as part of their climate change and climate financing. Here's a short list that I think is worth watching. In Comoros, a full recovery resilience project post-cyclone Kenneth. In Somalia, disaster risk policy financing is finally moving forward, paired with a CAT DDO, which is big for flexibility. In Myanmar, 2 separate projects on community resilience and health assistance were approved, and Albania got a dam safety optimization project, exactly the kind of climate proofing that we need more of. And Ukraine disclosed Prepare, a project designed to support resilient recovery even before the dust has settled. These aren't just buzzwords anymore. Disaster resilience is showing up in budget lines, not just in strategy papers. Now, over at the IFC, the disclosures were heavy on finance and infrastructure again. This is a key trend for IFC. They've been going hard on the FIs. We've got Antalya Airport in Turkey, a big Category A that was disclosed, regional projects like CB Energy Access in Africa and SLGP in Vanuatu with straddle climate and energy access. A wave of FI2s like clockwork in Mexico, Senegal, Bhutan, Ukraine, and Papua New Guinea. Financial intermediary projects that come with moderate social and environmental risks. And while many of these are repeats of previous formats, what is new is how resilience is creeping into the energy and finance portfolios, not just standalone infrastructures. The other banks, AIIB continues its classic move: transport, solar, digital, and infrastructure. EBRD is dipping into green hydrogen, battery storage, and even wind in Lithuania. In EIB, as always, is in appraisal mode, but watch the circular economy and urban mobility files in Germany and Spain. The IADB disclosures this round were surprisingly human-centered. AI tools for learning assessments in Peru, knowledge exchanges on LGBTQIA+ inclusion and early literacy, and emergency wildfire response in Argentina, climate-linked and urgent. So what's the trend? Compared to previous weeks, I'm seeing more projects tied to resilience, preparedness, and recovery, a sharper focus on climate-linked infrastructure, and slowly but surely, IFIs are starting to treat disaster risk as a cross-cutting issue, not just a niche category. It's not a full shift yet, but it's a movement. This is it for this week's Disclosure Roundup. If you're here for the insights, don't forget to follow, share, and send this to someone who cares about project level impact and not just the policy fluff.